Huh.
Hey guys, it's Dane at Jonah Guitars, and I got a brand new build series I'm going to start uploading. It's about this guy right here, the GECKO, and all of the whole process of building will be covered. It's going to be a very complete series. So I hope you join me, and we'll see you there. All right, I almost forgot. I'm peeling tape off of this thing now. As has been the case in the past, I've had a little bit of trouble at times getting the now let's get rid of this. Had a little bit of trouble not having the actual lettering peel up with this, so let's see what happens. I'm going to go find a X-Acto knife. Now, I really don't want anything as sharp as an X-Acto knife, so let's see about this piece of stick right here. Just I don't know where I got this. Looks like pine. Alright, so I have just the corner of that. And I'm just peeling and go real slow. Seems to be doing pretty well. I don't want to jinx myself. Probably got my hands all in front of it, so you can't really see what's happening. Okay, I can't even see what's happening. Alright, so how are we looking there? Alright, so we've got all of it except for the inside. Now this I probably do need an X-Acto knife for, and my visor. I should just look in the camera. It's bigger in the camera than it is. I got this little fuzz right here that's hanging off of this thing. Yeah, it is just a fuzz. And I'll let that dry probably overnight before I do that. And then I'll just, there's like the edge that was stuck on top of the thing that's laying there, and it's kind of giving me an odd shape. So I want to catch this plastic. There we go. Well, all right, there's the middle of the H. Let's go for the O here. There we go. All right. All right, so like I said, I'm going to give that, this is probably upside down. I think it is. Turn it over. I'm trying to look at my time display there. All right, so you can see there are some places right on the tip of that H that's kind of a little larger than it needs to be. And what that is like I said before, it was part of that dried over the top of the stencil vinyl material. So anyway, that is what it looks like after the fact, and that will be buried in lacquer. So it's a little proud of everything right now, but I'll shoot a lot of lacquer over that, and it will be it will eventually all be flush. And actually looks like I got it in there straight and just what I wanted, and that's going to look good with the brass colored frets, and it's going to be black hardware. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, so we got the headstock logo sprayed on the GECKO in the gold flake, and peeled the mask off, and there's just a little bit of flaking around the edges where it's sprayed over the edge of the mask. Let it dry. It's been a couple days since I've been able to be out here, so I didn't capture any of it on video, but I had a little stick the other day that just happened to be laying here on the bench, and rather than go after it with a razor blade, I just touched the very edge where it was a little loose, and all that stuff that had been just sprayed over the mask that was still hanging on there just fell off. So I'm going to reposition the camera. I've just actually run my compressor to the point where it just shut off, and so it shouldn't be kicking on for what a little bit I'm going to do with spray. And all I'm going to do now is just kind of do a little mist over the logo, just to kind of lock it in, and then I'll start shooting heavier coats over that. And I will concentrate primarily right on the lettering, which we'll lay out. I don't want to build up a ton of lacquer over the entire headstock. It'll be flat in the end, but you have to get it over the lettering so you don't accidentally sand through there. Got you zoomed in there pretty good, and I'm going to grab a tack cloth just because I don't want to lock in any gold flake that might be laying on the peg head here. I've got gold dust, you can't see it in this shot, but up the neck I've got little bits of gold dust all the way up the neck, just from having that bottle open. So we're just gonna dust it off and then run the tack cloth over it. And just a real pretty light coat over everything right now, but not too heavy. But heavier than that. There we go. Alright, that's good for now. And then I'll shoot a heavier coat next time around. Alright, we're going to go with that second heavier coat. I'm going to, where am I? Open the gun up a little bit. Just a little. Fan that out a bit more too. All right. Third coat. Okay, fourth time. Probably gonna kick the compressor this time. And see a shiny spot right there. I don't know if that's gold dust or if that's just a little fleck that's got some little piece of fuzz that's got lacquer shining on it. Anyway, number 4. All right, so back to the logo. I've got 5. You saw the first coat was kind of a light coat, just more of a cloud. Wet enough to to set it, but not so wet that any of the the metal flake would want to get soft and kind of like fuzz out on you. So because remember, lacquer interacts with the previous coat, so it's always going to loosen up the previous coat. So anyway, 1 of the lighter coat, and then 4 pretty decent coats. You can't really tell. There's some little fuzzies and whatnot. I'm going to knock those down. There's also the logo is still proud of the rest of it because as lacquer goes on and sinks, it just duplicates what's already there. So what I'll do is, after this has had a chance to dry overnight, I will sand it back with like 400, and the whole thing, but primarily over the lettering to try to so I've got those 4 or 5 coats of lacquer on top of the lettering, which can be sanded down and help bring those back into the level of everything else, right? So can't do a lot of sandback because with the metal flake, you don't want to get into that color. So that is where we're at with that, and I like the looks of that a lot. Anyway, I'm going to sand it back and shoot some more lacquer on. I'll probably bring you in for that process just so you have the full story. And but meanwhile, that's going to do it. We'll see you a little later.